All right, it's that time of the week again. The weekly Josh Gordon take session, whatever you want to call it. I'm Alex Barth. He's Evan Lazar. This is the Foxboro Report from Gillette Stadium, brought to you by 1 in 100. If you're looking for cheap tickets to concerts, sporting events, you could be in this building on Sunday night watching the Patriots and the Chiefs. All you've got to do is go to 1in100.co. That's 1in100.co for Patriots tickets, the price of an ice-cold beer or a slice of pizza. And Evan, Josh Gordon, we talk about him every week. Instead of previewing this week, I want to review. One of the biggest concerns about Gordon when he was traded here from the Browns, would he fit in? Would he adapt to the Patriot way? And in the last week or so, it's really become clear between posts on Instagram, the way he was received after his touchdown. He's here. He's a New England Patriot. He's a member of that locker room.
Right. I don't want to generalize, but I think that we talked about this a little bit when they made the trade.
Yeah.
That sometimes for people that have a history of mental illness and drug abuse, the structure and the support are two things that really help those guys, right? Having a plan every day like the Patriots do day in and day out, where you have a kind of a schedule and a set schedule for a player like Josh Gordon, and then also having the support of his teammates, his coaches, the people in the organization. I think that goes a long way in terms of kind of keeping him, where he needs to be in his head and stuff like that. I think we're seeing it pay dividends where there's just so much, there's an outcry of support for this guy from the top down in the Patriots organization, and having that kind of support system behind him, I think is paying huge dividends.
The one guy he's matched with the most, at least in the public eye, I think you could say, is his quarterback, Tom Brady. The Instagram posts, we saw them mic'd up after the touchdown. To borrow a phrase from the young kids on social media, it hits you right in the feels. It's a total mood. I think I did that right. But he had to click with Brady in order to work here, and he has to the fullest extent.
I think what's amazing about it is that Brady basically says their chemistry and their trust. He kind of pointed to that touchdown pass in the Colts game as like, that's how much I trust Josh Gordon. I'm just going to throw it up to him in double coverage, and I know he's going to go get the ball. The fact that they've kind of made those strides this quickly, I think, is pretty surprising to everybody. And the fact that he's already been in his playbook, and I think that Josh Gordon knows the playbook pretty well at this point, maybe not as well as somebody like a Julian Edelman or a Chris Hogan that have been here forever, but knows it well enough to be out there on Sundays. That's a very impressive thing. For not a lot of players have picked up on the playbook that quickly here in New England.
Okay, now to the preview. What do you expect from him Sunday night against the Chiefs? Big game.
Well, I don't know if we're necessarily going to see him play more snaps, but I just want to see more diverse route tree, right? We get a slant, we get a slant.
You haven't seen enough slants?
We get a slant, we get a slant, we got to go. We got a slant, we got a slant. Right, that's what we're seeing right now.
Right.
Let's see him running in, a nice dig cut. Let's see him run a comeback, maybe throw a screen his direction. Let's get him into this offense, integrated into more different ways to kind of show what he can do and display his talents. We love the slant routes. He's very effective on them.
He may be the best slant route runner in the NFL.
He's very good at him, but let's see him kind of diversify that route.
Well, here's the thing about that. It's been, I don't want to say blowouts, but for the most part, the Patriots have had games in hand when they've had Josh Gordon on the field the last 2 weeks. The one time it got close against the Colts, he gives us a little razzle-dazzle. We saw in the touchdown over double coverage. This week, it's expected to be a close game. It's expected to be a shootout. I wonder if the Patriots didn't want to tip their hand. They didn't want to show too much of what their plan is for Josh Gordon. I think this week there's a better chance that they have to go to that plan with Josh Gordon.
Yeah, I think that ultimately for me what it comes down to, it's not a chemistry thing with Brady. It's not learning the playbook. It's that hamstring. And the hamstring is still on the injury report. We got it today on Wednesday. He's still, limited with that hamstring injury. And I just don't think that the Patriots want to turn him loose quite yet until they feel comfortable about that hamstring. I mean, you know how hamstring injuries work. You run a go route, you run a post, and you really pull out that hamstring, and that can really re-injure that injury. So maybe slants, those types of routes are a little bit less taxing on his hamstring than some of the other things that he'd run.
Josh Gordon looking for a big game on Sunday night. Is this the week he finally breaks out? With the Foxboro Report, brought to you by 1 in 100, he's Evan Lazar. I'm Alex Barth from Gillette Stadium.